Assassin's Creed style.
The Black Death killed over 25 million people in the first 5 years of its infection, a quarter of the population of the continent of Europe. A scourge that would ravage the earth for over 200 years, feared by many and thought by others to be a curse or wrath of God. The disease spread very quickly. One person even coughing near another could cause infection. People walking from towns to towns carrying the disease in its early stages could possibly spread it. Therefore, people grow suspicious and closed in towns, and people weren't allowed to leave their own anywhere without being chased by guards. Bacterial infection could spread from the disease through many ways. One of them was the cut hands of picking up bodies or through rats. Many people just touching the bodies to bury them would also die. In the early 1330s, a mysterious disease broke out in China. Being one of the biggest world trade centres of the time, it would inevitably spread. In 1347, several Italian merchant ships docked in Sicily. Those on board were already infected with this mysterious plague. Within days, the disease spread to the city and the surrounding countryside. Carried by the fleas on rats, the plague initially spread to humans near the Black Sea and surrounding areas, then outwards to the rest of Europe as a result of people fleeing from one area to another. To counter this, towns were blocked off and guards ordered not to allow anyone to leave, but people still made attempts to escape the bubonic plague. Escape attempts were usually made at night, but desperate people would make attempts even during the day.
It's the 10th time this week.
Doctor! There you are. Victims of the plague would usually die due to symptoms such as high fevers, internal bleeding, that cause black spots or large tubes.
I'll treat you effectively with a new technique. First we pop the pupil. Right. You're leaking now. Now, all I'm going to do now is apply focus. I've warmed butter, onion and garlic. General goods. You can refresh them yourself when you have the ingredients. You must restrain yourself at this, it might affect me.
Most herbal remedies and other medicines of the time were largely ineffectual.
There we go. Hopefully I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Hello?
Hi.
I've seen you over here before.
Yeah. I have to watch these peasants.
I've come there to talk to you about something.
Like anything you have to tell me is important.
Possibly a raise in wages.
Why would you think that?
Because I work harder than anyone else, and I deserve more, especially with this new illness. It's killed more of my friends than others.
Well, if you worked harder, I would pay you more, and you would escape the illness.
I work harder than anyone else. Why should I listen to you anyway? I bet if I worked out something, I could make my own business.
Yeah, good luck with that. No one's gonna trust you. You'll collapse as soon as you start.
Just you wait. Just you wait, Noble. I'm going to gather some of my friends. I'll
Cats
be
and
back.
dogs were often hunted down instead of rats, as they were thought to carry the disease. Many people did not even give a second thought to rats, as they are part of
Look out,
everyday
it's an
life.
infected animal.
Wild dogs turned ravenous could often spread the disease as well, but were not as bad as rats or fleas.
The dogs on the wild! Kill them too and move this.
Guy de Chauliac was Pope Clement VI's physician. He studied the plague by studying patients that actually got it, watching its symptoms and evolution. He made the first credible description of it, and of course also got ill, because bubonic plague is very contagious. But however slim the odds in his favour were, he was among the few who contracted it and survived. He saved the Pope by prescribing a preventative method that worked. The Pope, the most important person in Europe at the time, it was imperative that he was saved. What de Chauliac prescribed was incredibly simple and indeed based on facts. He told the Pope to isolate himself and stay surrounded by fire. The heat and flames in all likelihood purified the air around him, killing the fleas that normally transmit the plague and scaring away any rats or rodents. So despite the fact that medieval medicine was indeed primitive, the method proposed by Guy de Chauliac actually worked.
Thank the Lord. Let us go tell the Cardinal.
The bubonic plague still ravages parts of Africa, but can be treated with basic antibiotics. Although there has been studies that have found that the bubonic plague could develop drug resistance. In a single case in Madagascar in 1995, a certain version of bubonic plague was found to have drug resistance. And this shows that it could still represent a threat to our modern world.
The doom is near! A plague spreads through our midst
Don't look at the camera.
and kills every one of you. Women, children, warriors, rendering us helpless to Mother Nature. The wind carries it. You carry it. And I will die.
Guy de Chauliac was Pope Clement VI's physician. He Go again.
Stop record, stop record.
I am.
The most biggest trade world centres.
Let's go. Just die.
Everyone quiet. Jasper, don't chase her. Don't chase.
Man, I clogged. That wasn't very long.
Dogs on the wild! Kill them too and move this body
Wait,
out
Callum,
of the
shut
way.
up. He's eating the body.
Does the Pope yet live?
Yes, he lives!
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah!
Have you heard of the illness?
It is a curse.
Curse?
We have sinned against God. And now we are paying the price.
But how can it be a plus? What have we done?
We sinned
Sin?
against everything.
Oh no.
Hey, you killed that chicken.
You just made the whole thing